Okay, so let's begin just by finding a comfortable seat on your mat. Sitting tall will help you with your attention. Closing your eyes will help to refocus attention on your body. Again, many people think spirituality is about somehow transcending the human experience, the body experience, becoming some kind of disembodied thought being, something like that. I don't know. Many people have different ideas about spirituality. I've studied many different forms, and they all tend to lead back to really embracing and finding peace and joy with whatever experience we're having. So maybe someone can teach you a meditation, you have some kind of disembodied experience of being pure bliss and pure joy. That's wonderful. But then you come back and you're in your miserable body again, in your miserable life. You have to go to work, all this kind of stuff. So some people in the past have tried to live in caves. They try to remove themselves from life, stay in meditation, try and stay in this blissful sort of space. But I think what many people are learning now with modern spirituality is it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. And that there's another way. And so the other way is to actually really go into the experience of being human, to learn to become comfortable with it. And a large part of the experience of being human is the body. And the body is a very powerful spiritual tool if we let it be. So as you sit there and close your eyes and sit tall, I want you to tune in to what you're feeling in your body. There might be physical pain. Of course, the body is the home of our senses, so there might be sounds or sights outside of my voice in the room. Maybe you have a pet who's running around. Maybe you have a loved one. You're working at home and they're making noise in the kitchen. Whatever it might be, see if you can just relax into that experience, whatever experience you're having. And the best way to do this is just to say yes to whatever it is. Very often, the tension, the uncomfortable experience, the suffering comes from saying no. So if there's a jackhammer outside, we might be thinking, well, we want our yoga to be peaceful. Just say yes to the jackhammer. Let it be there. And I think what you'll find is there's a sense of peace that comes with that. There's a sense of okayness that comes with that. Now, this isn't just about things outside of us, it's also inside of us. So if we have a certain emotional tension there because of something happening in our life, we may want that to go away. But in this moment, let's just see if we can let it be there, and we see that we're still here and it's okay. And we actually have the capacity to hold space for that. Sure, we might still want it to go away. We all like to feel good. But if it's here, it's a part of this moment, then we find actually we are okay. We can be with it. We can allow it to be there. And again, once we say yes, there is a sense of peace that comes with that. There's a release of tension when we just say yes to this moment just as it is. And this is something most people don't do without some spiritual training, without some practice. So sitting here like this, it's relatively easy to do this. Again, there may be personal challenges, but most of us can kind of, I'm okay with what's going on. As we get into the practice, we might find that that brings up other things, right? If we can't do certain postures, we have a lot of sensation in a certain pose. So again, let's just be very aware of this as we move into our practice. Okay, let's begin with 3-part yogic breathing. So we inhale, we fill the belly, ribs, and upper chest. We exhale, we reverse that. After establishing that 3-part breathing, we begin to add the ujjayi, the ocean sound at the back of the throat. Continuing with both techniques, with the next exhale, we transition into tabletop position. We begin the simple cat-cow, which is the first of 3 exercises collectively called pratapana. See if you can avoid doing these exercises in a robotic, mechanical way. And just really tune in to the sensations and experience as you do them. As if it was the first time you're doing these, and maybe the first time you have a physical body. Good, then we'll come back to neutral, knees together, take a deep breath, exhale hips to the right, look to your left, inhale center, and exhale to the other side. I don't know if you can hear the cracks in my spine as I begin to move, but this is one of the reasons why we do this. Is it really does help to prepare the body for more vigorous movement. So those cracks and pops that we hear as we begin moving, these are all part of that preparation. Okay, and then the last one, almost like half threading the needle. Inhale one arm up, exhale down, inhale the other side. So we're not going to put the arm to the ground, just moving side to side like this with the breath. And again, just really noticing anywhere where there may be pain or stiffness in the body. You don't want to try and force your body to open up, but you also don't want to shy away from moving the body. So maybe you do less if there's a lot of pain somewhere. You just do a little less of whatever it is you're doing. Okay, coming back to neutral, we'll tuck those toes, we lift the hips, down dog. Again, just some simple movements for the toes and the ankles, the legs. And then we'll come into our first down dog and take a few breaths here. And again, let's see if we can bring that same sort of open-mindedness, relaxed attention to this moment. Now we're upside down. We're stretching. There is some muscular effort required here. Very little if you're doing it properly, but there still is some. And so we may begin to feel a little tired. And we just see if we can allow that tired sensation to be there. Noticing the breath. Good. With our next exhale, let's walk our feet to our hands. We come into the ragdoll for a moment, grabbing the opposite elbow. We can nod and shake the head, sway the hips, bend the knees. And then with arms relaxed, we'll inhale and gradually roll ourselves up to standing, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Okay, beautiful. So let's start with our sun salutation, feet touching if possible. Inhale, arms up and extend from the pubic bone through the chin. As you exhale, come into forward fold, Uttanasana, bringing palms flat, bending the knees as much as necessary and relaxing the neck. Inhaling to half lift, and exhale, planting the hands and stepping to the top of a push-up. With the wrists planted directly below the shoulders and the shoulders active and engaged, we take a deep breath in, drop the knees, exhale halfway down with elbows hugging the ribs as we take a breath. And with the next exhale, we lower the rest of the way down. With the feet together and pressing into the mat, we inhale, lifting the head, neck, and chest into Cobra. As we exhale, we lower back down, press back to tabletop, and then to Downward Dog for a few breaths. Good, let's do another one of those. So we inhale to the toes and exhale as we step, jump, or float to the front edge of our mat. Inhaling up to our standing back bend once again. As we exhale, we grab the right wrist and pull it to the left, stretching our side. Then inhale to center and we exhale to the other side. Good, inhale back to center and exhale to forward fold, Uttanasana. We inhale to half lift and exhale to the top of a push-up. Knees up or down is your choice. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, straightening arms and legs for up dog. Your knees are off the ground. That might not be apparent, but mine are. And as you exhale, pulling both feet in at the same time as you lift your hips up and back to Downward Dog. You can roll over your toes or pull them in. Either is fine, but get in the habit of doing both feet together. That will save your SI joint. Okay, from here, let's inhale to the toes. We're going to exhale front edge of our mat. Inhale to standing back bend. We exhale half moon. Inhale and exhale half moon. Good. Inhale center and exhale to chair pose, Utkatasana. So this is, we're feeling it in the thighs. And again, this is a great time to notice if we're saying no to our experience. So again, I can come out of it and say yes, but as I've mentioned before, there are situations like the death of my father. I just can't get out of that, right? I don't like it, but I can't get out of it. It's just a reality. So this is the reality of being a human being. Is there are situations that we can't get out of, and this is what a yoga practice on one level is about, is learning to be okay in a posture that I would rather say no to, but since this is my practice, I'm just going to be here, I'm going to learn to relax, to breathe with it, to feel the sensations, to say yes. Let's inhale, we'll come into our standing back bend, and we exhale, we release into forward fold. Inhaling to half lift. If you're able, exhale right to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale to your up dog. And if you're able, do a push-up on your way out. Again, everyone, I really need to emphasize upper body strength, whether you are a man or a woman. I know in our culture we might propagate this myth that women don't need upper body strength. It's not true. Everybody needs it to be healthy. Okay? So we don't need huge triceps and biceps, but being able to do a push-up is a pretty basic body weight move. And if that's too much, you drop the knees for now. But eventually you do want to build up the strength to do some push-ups if possible. Okay? Okay, from here, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale that right leg up and back. And as we often do, we'll make some hip circles just to really prepare that hip joint.
And we just need to do a few in each direction. Again, we're feeling and warming up the joint, okay? Then as we exhale, we lunge, drop the back knee, and we inhale to Anjaneyasana, low lunge pose. So we do this a lot. Hips are forward and down, front foot and knee point straight ahead. The back knee is on the ground, and I feel a stretch at the front of my left hip, okay? Exhale, bottom of the push-up as you make your way to down dog. And as I said before, I will skip push-ups often in the class because I'm not really doing the class. I'm demonstrating and teaching. So I'm talking. You should be breathing very deeply, rhythmically, slowly. I can't do that and talk and teach the class at the same time, okay? So I get winded if I do all the push-ups. Okay, side 2. Feet touch, inhale left leg, exhale, make some circles, big circles. Notice I'm just keeping that knee bent. You don't need to straighten the leg as you move it around, okay? Like you have a piece of chalk on your knee and you're drawing big circles. And then as you exhale, you lunge and inhale for a few breaths into the front of that right hip. Again, this is Anjaneyasana. Then we take a nice deep breath and exhale to the bottom of the push-up, making your way to down dog. Now again, you'll see me skipping them. I don't recommend you do that. Drop the knees if necessary. If you can, do every push-up. If you can't, it's okay. This is not about feeling bad. This is not about living up to some imaginary standard. But modern society often discourages us from pushing ourselves in healthy ways. I'll put it that way. We're often taught to push ourselves in unhealthy ways, and then we're discouraged from pushing ourselves in healthy ways. So I'm going to encourage you to do so in a healthy way, okay? Okay, turbo dog. Let's take a deep breath. We're going to exhale, bend those arms. So we come down a little bit. Arms are bent. Elbows are near the ground but not touching. Very difficult. We straighten those arms out and we take a breath. Okay? Now again, if I'm lacking in arm, shoulder, upper body strength, this is going to be really hard. And that's okay. We do the best we can. Let's do that again. We bend those arms. This is called the turbo dog. We're strengthening those triceps, the muscles in the back of our upper arm. Take a few breaths. We straighten out those arms, return to down dog. Down dog should feel much easier. And let's do one more. We bend those arms, we breathe. May we come a little lower. My arms are shaking, that's okay. I straighten out and take a breath. Phew. All right, beautiful. So this turbo dog is our baseline. If some of the things we do later in this section of our flow is too much, I recommend repeating the turbo dog because that will help you build that upper body strength and control. Okay, beautiful. From here, let's go ahead and inhale our toes. We're going to exhale front edge of the mat. We inhale up to standing back bend, and let's exhale hands to our hips. This is called Utthita Hasta Padangustasana preparation. So from standing, we bend that right knee, and we're just going to reach down and hold underneath the knee like so. Okay? Now, I think everyone can do this. You might feel a little wobbly. That's okay. If you do, maybe you step off of your mat onto like a hard floor surface. You could also maybe hold the wall near you. But as to the best of your ability, try and just balance there. Again, this is our baseline. So if later we're doing versions of this that are too much, you return here. Okay? Now let's test our hamstring flexibility. See, we can straighten that leg out without dropping it down, without hurting our back. Okay? If you can, then you can do some of the variations we're going to explore later. If you can't, then maybe you just repeat this. Again, work on your balance. Maybe work on straightening that leg a little bit, just stretching out those hamstrings. All right, let's exhale that leg down. Side 2. Okay, we're here. And again, we just see we can find that balance point, keeping your eyes on one point, keeping your breath deep, rhythmic, slow, focusing on the breath rather than trying to balance. We take that leg, see if we can straighten it. Good. Let's exhale, release that posture. Inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up, and make your way to down dog. Okay, so now we begin to add some challenge to what we did. Feet touch, we inhale right leg up and back, three-legged dog pose. Again, we do this one a lot, so hopefully it's second nature to you. Leg is straight, lifted high, but notice I'm not lifting my hip. Look how much higher I can lift that leg if I lift my hip. Not lifting the hip is down, okay? Take a nice deep breath, exhale as you lunge. Inhale to Anjaneyasana, low lunge, and then exhale, hands to the ground, hips back over the left knee, right leg completely straight with the foot flexed. I fold over that leg into half triangle, Ardha Trikonasana. This stretches in the back of my right thigh, the hamstrings. Good. We inhale to our low lunge and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making our way to down dog. Great. Side 2, feet touch, inhale, left leg up and back. Three-legged dog pose. Again, this is not a stretch. It's more about control, alignment, balance, awareness. Exhale, lunge, inhale. This is a stretch. And then exhale, this is a stretch. Okay, Ardha Trikonasana. The back of the left thigh is stretching. Generally speaking, you want to hold a stretch for a few breaths. Otherwise, it's not going to be very effective. Okay, we inhale to our low lunge and exhale, bottom of the push-up as we make our way back to downward facing dog. Okay, so remember, you can do this turbo dog. This next variation probably will be accessible to all. So we inhale to a tabletop, and then from there, let's exhale, bringing our elbows to the ground to a what's called a forearm plank. Okay, so a few things about forearm plank. Again, elbows are directly below your shoulders. Shoulders are engaged. And then this, check it, make sure you're not doing this. Okay, this is not correct. Many people might do it this way because it's a little easier, but we want those hips down. So ears, shoulders, hips, knees, heels are all basically in a straight line. We're looking down, not looking up, so we're not bringing our cervical spine into extension. It's just in a neutral position. Okay? And again, if this is too much, what do? I drop those knees. Okay? But drop the knees and do this a lot. Try and strengthen those shoulders and arms, your core, so one day you'll be able to lift those knees up. Again, not so you're cool, not so you have a six-pack, so that you can be healthy, okay? Okay, from there, let's make our way back to downward dog. Again, man or woman, we need upper body strength to keep our bones healthy. Okay, from here, let's inhale toes. We're going to exhale front edge of the mat. We inhale to our standing back bend, and let's exhale hands to hips. So, Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, I can repeat this. This is the baseline, remember? Okay? If I want to take it a step further, I grab the shin like so. All right. And if I want to go a step further, I grab the toe. Now from here, if it feels safe, I extend my right leg out in a straight line. No pain in the back, no pain on your low butt right there, what's called the ischial tuberosity. Balancing, breathing. And to release, we keep the leg lifted and just reach that arm up on the inhale. We exhale the leg and the arm. Okay, side two, same thing. You have several choices here, here, here. Again, all pain-free. You might feel a lot of sensation, but it needs to be basically pain-free. If you have pain, then you need to find out what's going on. That could be a good pain that you work through, or it may be a bad pain telling you to stop. Good. To release, we keep the leg lifted. Inhale, arm up, and exhale, leg and arm. Beautiful. You guys are doing great. So inhale, arms up, touch palms, and exhale, forward fold. You can inhale, half lift, maybe a crow pose, maybe even a handstand, and exhale, bottom of your push-up, making your way to down dog. Again, if you can, do a push-up on your way out. Again, let's build that upper body strength. All right, from here, our feet touch. We inhale the right leg up and back. We're going to exhale that knee high up on the right arm, as high as we can get it. Hold and we breathe. Good. Then we inhale that leg up and back. We exhale as we lunge. We inhale to low lunge, Anjani Asana. And then exhale as we come back, stretching the back of the right thigh. We inhale, Anjani Asana, stretching the front of the left hip. And then exhale, back of the right thigh. Good. Let's do a few more of those. Inhale up, left hip. Exhale, right thigh. Two more. And one more time. Beautiful. Good. Inhale, low lunge, and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Making our way to down dog. And then side two, feet touch. We inhale left leg. Exhale, knee to the arm as high as we can. The foot is off the ground if possible. Good. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Or inhale to low lunge rather. Exhale the foot. Inhale low lunge. Exhale, half triangle. Now don't worry about making these poses perfect. So if they're a little different than when we're holding the stretch, that's okay. Just make sure you feel the stretch. Left thigh. Right hip. You feel the stretch and you're free of pain. That's really what's important. All the alignment that we do in yoga is to help us achieve those two goals. We're not hurting ourselves, and the pose is effectively stretching and working certain tissues in the body. Good. Let's exhale, bottom of our push-up, make our way back to downward dog. Okay, so again, I have a few choices. If this is too much for me, what we're about to do, I can do the turbo dog, building that upper body strength, right? I can come into my forearm plank and hold that. In some ways, forearm plank may be easier or harder than the pose we're about to do. This is called the dolphin plank. So the dolphin plank is more about the shoulders. So I really engage those shoulders and I walk my feet in as much as I can. Walk them in, walk them in, walk them in. Okay, so I'm here. Now again, it may look like I'm putting my head on the ground. I am not. Just the opposite. Okay, and I walk my feet in as much as I can. So it's like I'm trying to get my hips over my shoulders and my elbows. And I'm trying not to collapse in the shoulders. All right? So if I don't have much shoulder strength, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to collapse here. So again, if this is too much, I showed you some other things that you can do to begin building that strength. So this is called a dolphin, okay? Dolphin pose. Okay, let's come back to our down dog. And from our dolphin pose, we're going to inhale to the toes. We exhale, front edge of the mat. Let's inhale up to our standing back bend. And we exhale, hands to the hips. Now again, I can repeat any of the variations we've learned here so far, like this, like that. If you're ready to go a little further, then bending your right knee, you come into this first variation, and then with an exhale, you take that leg out to the right, and bring your arm to the left, and try and look to your left. So this is Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, second variation. Good. Inhale back to center and exhale. Release the pose. Side two, same thing. Take your time. You don't have to go at the same pace that I do. Balance poses usually really benefit from taking the time to establish a firm foundation. Good. So inhale back to our center and we exhale as we release that pose. Good. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back, and we exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, crow, handstand, and exhale. Bottom of your push-up as you make your way back to the downward facing dog. Okay, beautiful work. From our downward dog, let's bring the feet to touch. We inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge. We bring both hands inside of that foot. Okay, and then we come as low as we can. So if possible, you're all the way down here. Okay, and you want to feel this in your right leg. The inside of the leg, maybe the outside, the back of the leg, it just kind of depends on where the tension is. If you don't feel it, sink your hips down, bring your torso down even more. And this is the lizard. Okay, from our lizard, let's bring our hands back to the ground. We inhale that leg up and back. That's the three-legged dog. We exhale as we lunge, and we inhale to a high lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. Okay, so front foot and knee straight ahead, right thigh parallel with the ground, left leg straight, heel pressing toward the ground directly behind the toes. Let's take a deep breath. We exhale, bottom of our push-up, making our way to down dog. From the downward dog, we bring our feet to touch. We're going to inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge. And then we drop down inside of that left leg. Right knee can be up or down. It really is up to you. I'm going to keep it up. We want to feel that in our left thigh. I feel it in my groin, so the inside of the thigh, really close to the pubic bone. And it's a nice stretch. It's very intense. It's releasing that tension. Good. Hands to the ground. I inhale the leg up and back. Exhale as I lunge. And I inhale to a crescent high lunge for a few breaths. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Bottom of the push-up as we make our way back to down dog. Beautiful. From our downward facing dog, let's take a look at a fun posture I call Baby Bakasana. So we exhale, hands and knees. Come down to your elbows. Reach across, grab the opposite arm, and then bring your forearms to the ground. That's about the distance you want your arms to be. Okay? The elbows are directly below the shoulders. And again, I have my shoulders engaged. Now, tucking the toes, I walk my feet in, bend my knees, and I can either place my knees on the back of my arms or I can hug the side of my arms. Look up, engage those shoulders, shift my weight forward. Now, it might look like I'm putting my head on the ground. I'm not. Okay, I can look freely either way. I'm not touching the ground. I try and lift in one set of toes at a time. Okay, and now if I can do that, I feel okay. I try and lift both toes. Again, my head is not on the ground. My toes are not on the ground. So this is a type of forearm stand. The forearms are bearing the weight of the entire body. Okay, it may not look impressive because you're so near the ground, but again, it requires strength, it requires balance, coordination, a lot going on to make that happen. So just because something doesn't look impressive doesn't mean there isn't a lot going on in our body to make that possible. Okay, that's our Baby Bakasana, baby crow. Let's come back to our downward dog. From here, we inhale to the toes, exhale to the front edge of our mat. Inhale up to our standing back bend, and exhale our hands to the hips. Let's take a look at our last or final variation of Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Okay, so I'm going to bend that right knee. And again, I lift the leg up. And this time, instead of holding with the right hand, I can hold with the left hand like so, okay? And I can take a twist like that. Or I can grab the foot or the big toe, stand up tall, and then exhale and twist like so, which is a deeper twist. It requires hamstring flexibility. It also requires, to a certain degree, proportions that allow this. So you could use a strap if you needed to. Good, we inhale back to center. When we exhale, we just release that leg. Same thing, other side. We're adding a twist to our Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, quite literally. Good, we inhale back, exhale, release. Inhale, standing back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift or crow or handstand, and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make our way back to down dog. Okay, you're all doing great. Let's take a look at another variation of our Utthita Hasta. The lizard pose. So inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, bring that foot alongside your right hand. Then bend down, take the leg over your right shoulder. Place your hands on the ground, look forward, and then try lifting the leg up off the ground. Okay? See if you can get in a couple breaths like that. It may or may not lift, but just try and lift it. Good. Let's inhale that leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge. We'll inhale to a crescent lunge. And then as we exhale, we take a warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3 pose. Okay, so left leg is like a 3-legged dog pose. Arms, torso, and leg as close to parallel as I can manage. Foot is flexed, pointing down. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to down dog. Other side, feet touch. Inhale, left leg. Exhale to a lizard. Take that leg over the arm. Look up and lift the left foot as much as you can. It may or may not lift. That's okay. Just do your best. Good. Inhale that leg up and back to a three-legged dog. Exhale as you lunge. Inhale to crescent lunge. And exhale to warrior three. Good. Take a deep breath. And exhale, bottom of your push-up. Okay, beautiful work. Let's take a look at the crow pose proper. So, walking forward into this position, a squat. Bend the arms and try and position your wrists and elbows under your shoulders, about shoulder width. Now notice I have a right angle here. These are called chaturanga arms, okay? Now again, if this is too much, work on your turbo dog, work on your forearm plank, work on your dolphin, okay? So it's a progression. Once I've mastered those other postures, the baby crow as well, you can work on that. Once I've mastered those, this should be fairly elementary. So I bring my hands to the ground, I lift my butt up. Notice I still have the bend. I still have the chaturanga arms, okay? Shins to the back of the arms, looking forward. I feel the balance point, very important. Where do I find balance? Then, once I found it, I can try lifting the toes. See if my arms will support the weight of my body, okay? If they will, then I try and lift both feet. I'm looking up, not down. Shoulders are engaged. I see if I can get in a few breaths. Every yoga pose is a meditation posture. It's an opportunity for awareness. It's not about showing off on Instagram or doing something other people can't do. Okay? That we are trying to put ourselves in challenging situations where it challenges us to stay present and aware. The real challenge of yoga is staying present and aware, not doing fancy postures, okay? So that's called Bakasana, crow pose. It is the base of all the arm balances. So you know we do lots of arm balances in class. That is the foundational posture. So this class is the one where we work up to that step by step by step. So again, if you can't do that, it's okay, but work on those other steps. The dolphin, the forearm plank, turbo dog, the baby crow. Practice those on your own. Build that upper body strength so you can do the crow pose, okay? Very, very important posture. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and return to our down dog. And from our down dog, we're going to take a look at Eka Pada Bakasana, the second variation. Or actually, no, let's stay here. Or no, sorry, we'll come into our down dog. Sorry, a little bit lost. Okay, so let's see if we can combine a few things. So we inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. We take that leg and put it on like we're putting on our backpack, okay? Now I'm going to bring my left leg forward and do like crow pose. I'm going to put it on the back of that arm. I look up, drop my hips, and try and lift both feet at the same time. So again, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but neither of my feet are touching the ground. I'll wiggle them. Okay, they're not touching the ground. Now ideally, my right leg would be straight. That would be a much prettier way to do the pose, but it doesn't really matter. I'm still working the same muscles. Let's try that on the other side. Left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Okay, take the leg over the shoulder. Bring this back leg in. Drop the hips. Try and lift the front leg and the back leg at the same time. And again, you can wiggle your feet just to prove that the legs are actually lifted. All right? And then again, taking a few breaths in awareness is really the key. That's really what we want to do here with that. Okay, beautiful work, everybody. Let's cool down now. We come into our child pose. So again, everyone, the things we do in the class, they're a means to an end. They're not an end unto itself. So please don't obsess about any of the postures, being able to do them in the sense that doing it is the purpose. Being able to do the arm balances, again, help us maintain health by maintaining bone density, especially in the upper body strength, again, very important. And then from a deeper spiritual perspective, they allow us to practice this awareness, of bringing awareness into a challenging, uncomfortable situation. Very, very valuable for us. So take a nice deep breath. We're going to exhale those hands over to the left as we stretch our right waist and ribs. Inhale, center. We exhale off to the other side. Good. Let's inhale back to center. We'll exhale onto our belly with the right hand over the left hand. Good. Let's take a look at 3 variations of Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. So we bring our legs together. The feet will be pressing into the top of the mat. We take our hands alongside our chest, mouth, chin, or forehead on the mat. And this first one, let's inhale, we'll lift up, and let's lift the hands as well. Okay, so the hands are not touching the ground, just using our back strength here. Good. Exhale, come on down. Left hand over the right hand, forehead on the back of the hands. Just relax. Second variation. Let's bring our hands back into position. We inhale, press into the hands. Keep your hips on the ground, however, so you can lift as much as you can lift without letting the hips come up. The elbows should still be bent. Good. Let's take a breath. We exhale. Coming down, right hand over left hand, forehead on the back of the hands. Good, one more. So let's bring our hands back into position, legs are together. Inhale, pressing up. If you'd like, you can straighten the arms. The hips may come up. And if it feels okay, bend the knees. Okay, so the crown of the head reaches toward the soles of the feet. Some people may actually be able to touch. Okay, you can see I'm nowhere near. Doesn't matter. This is a very good stretch for the front of my body.
Good. Inhale, straighten those legs, and exhale, come on down. Left hand over the right hand, forehead on the back of the hands. Good. Pressing back, crossing the ankles, rolling over those legs and bringing the legs out in front. Let's do a seated twist. We'll bend that right knee, bring it over the left leg, bend that left foot, bring it alongside the right hip. The hips are down, the spine is straight. Inhale, right arm up and back. Exhale, that hand behind you. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale over the knee, looking back over that right shoulder. Good. We inhale back to center. Exhale, extend those legs. And then we'll take it to the other side. Good. We inhale back to center. Exhale those legs. Legs together, spine straight. Inhale, arms up. And exhale to forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Extend the exhale twice the length of your inhale here. Good. Arms to the ears. Inhale up. Exhale, rolling back onto your back. Once you get there, draw those legs in. Give them a nice squeeze. You can try some gentle movements like rocking, making circles with the knees. And then you might also enjoy grabbing the soles of the feet for happy baby. Each position gives you a little bit of different leverage, so it allows you to access different muscles and joints. When you're done with that, we want to unwind onto our back in Shavasana, corpse pose. Palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, eyes closed. As always, grab your phone, set a timer for 6 minutes. If you want to rest longer, by all means do, but I recommend getting in the habit of, again, relaxing for those 6 minutes. Even if your mind is racing and you feel like you have a million things you need to do, see if you can just develop the discipline to allow your body to rest for those 6 minutes.